How's the Italian food in this restaurant?
Good. Try the veal. It's the best in the city. I'm going to speak Italian to Brian.
Go ahead.
Cosa ne pensi di Ringo Starr?
Molto sottovaluta.
Sì, la batteria è una firma dei Beatles.
Guarda il suo lavoro nel giorno della vita.
Senti, sì, ti sei occupato di quella cosa?
Che cosa?
La cosa nostra.
Oh, che la cosa! Sì, ho votato del voto atleta della settimana.
Good morning, wake up, get out of bed, drag a comb across your head. Welcome to the Giorno della Vita edition of Athletes of the Week, week 2 of the winter season. Hey, and before we even get going, we want to draw your attention, of course, to the Athlete of the Week acting debut of Wilcox Tech soccer coach Joe Testa and his All-Record Journal player Kelvin Cortez. They certainly were a pleasure to work with, were they not, Joe? Gotta say, though, they probably have acting experience outside of the RJ. For starters, they both had agents. And Kelvin insisted on his own stylist. And Joe Testa, for the refreshments, he had to have his pasta cooked al dente. Just kidding. It was a pleasure to have Joe and Kelvin join us for an Athlete of the Week cold opening shoot. And we decided to roll it this week because here in week 2 we have not one, but 2 nominees from Wilcox Tech. But before we move on, we're going to backtrack to week 1, and we're going to tell you our winners. We had a great all-star cast. We're going to start with the boys. If you will remember, we had from Sheehan boys basketball, Garrett Molampy. Garrett Light the Lamp Molampy, red hot for the Sheehan Titans. He was nominated. Also, cross town, Mr. Kevin Ransom, a returning All-Record Journal player. And from wrestling, Ben Stratton, who hit his 100th career victory coming out of the new year. Those were our nominees. Our winner, Garrett Molampy from Sheehan High School. We caught up with him Tuesday evening just before the Titans tipped off with the Cheshire Rams.
Basketball number 31, Garrett Molampy.
This is Sean Krovsik of the Meriden Record Journal. I'm with our male athlete of the week, Garrett Molampy, sophomore at Sheehan High. Garrett, how does it feel to be Record Journal Athlete of the Week?
It feels very good. I'd like to thank my coaches and my teammates. You know, they've been pushing me these last couple of weeks. And I'd like to thank everybody that voted for me for Record Journal Athlete of the Week.
Garrett, you had an astronomical amount of votes. Did you have a lot of support and a lot of people saying they were going to vote for you?
Yes, I did. You know, friends, family, teammates. Yeah, it's very well-rounded.
Yeah. Well, tell us about your role in this with the team this season. You've gotten off to a great start, and what's been the main reason for that?
My teammates, they pushed me, and it's not about one player. It's all about the team. So if one person's having a bad game or something, then we pick them up and we push the ball. We're a fast-moving team, and we like to move the ball around, cut, and look for open shots.
Yeah. So tell me about that quick style. You like playing up-tempo style? Yeah.
So it's all about the cutting. We're doing better getting to open spots, and without my team, I'm sort of cutting and creating my own shot this year. It's getting my open shots.
Mm-hmm. And describe yourself as a player.
As a player, I like to think of myself as a shooter, an off-the-ball catch and shoot, and a driving kick person.
And your season high this year, how many was that?
29.
29. Who was that against?
Xavier.
Yeah. Yeah, tell me about that game. You guys obviously tough competition, but coming out with 29 points is pretty good.
Yeah. It was a catch and shoot sort of night. I was on fire the first half, and then we picked it up, and we just didn't come through with the win, but it's a team effort.
Thank you, Garrett, for making time to speak with Sean and Peter before Tuesday's game with Cheshire. That was a good one. We were looking forward to that. One thing we should mention now, with Wednesday snow coming in, we did tape the entire show on Tuesday. So all the reference points we're going to make during the show, it's everything up and through Martin Luther King Day. So we had games on Tuesday. We figured everything got snowed out Wednesday, and then we come back Thursday and Friday with the Platt Maloney games. One thing we need to mention about Garrett, he had a ton of votes. Now, Ben got a lot of votes. Kevin Ransom got a lot of votes. Garrett had a ton of votes, O with an apostrophe. So much so that I believe, Peter, correct me if I'm wrong, he ranks number 2 on our all-time vote getters list. Miss Abby Murphy of Southington Tennis remains number 1. Miss Murphy, you remain number 1. That might mean your quota's up, though, dear, and I know you're only going into your junior season. Anyway, spring seems to be a long, long ways away. For now, we're in the winter season. We're going to bring you our boys' nominees here in week 2. Where are we going to start? I think we're going to start on the basketball court. Over in Southington, where the Blue Knights are a good feel-good story to start this year. They are 5-3. They've got a good team over there, coached by John Cesario. We've got guys doing a lot of things. Jeremy Mercier, Tim O'Shea, Cam Kleins. But our nominee is this gentleman, Mr. Andrew Lonice, senior. He is the leading scorer for the Blue Knights. He is averaging 17.6. That was his average going into Tuesday night's game over at Newington. One thing to note, too, about the Southington team, they're really not all about scoring. Defense in particular. They beat Bloomfield the other day, held them to 29 points. Great start for Andrew Lonice and the Southington Blue Knights. Okay, we're going to shift over to the hockey rink. We had a great game on Saturday night, the rivalry game between the Lyman Hall Co-op and Sheehan Titans. We had a number of kids we could have gone with from this game, but we're going with the guy who hit a milestone. Ben Stratton was our milestone guy in week 1. Milestone guy here in week 2. There's a couple of them. Our first guy up, Scott Bradley. He's a senior. You've seen his face before. You're seeing it again. Scott hit 100 points on Wednesday in Lyman Hall's 4-3 win over the Housatonic Co-op. And then he came back on Saturday with 2 assists, including on the game-winning goal right there against Sheehan. 3-2 overtime game. That was a thriller over at Wesleyan. Our third and final nominee, we mentioned that there's a couple from Wilcox, and first up is Mr. DeJuan DJ Ransom. He's a junior guard for the Wilcox Indians. They're off to a 7-1 start, and DJ on Friday night went over 1,000 points for his career. That's right, he's already gone over 1,000 points, and he's only a junior. Will Rosie Scheider's Meriden record of 1984 be overtaken some point next year? We'll see. For now, DJ is nominated here in week 2. He's been a scoring machine for a very well-balanced Wilcox Tech team. They went 4-0 last week, and DJ scored 94 points. He had 31 on the night. He went over 1,000, and with 201 on the season, he is averaging 25 points a game. He is our area leading scorer. Okay, we switch over to the girls here for week 2. We're going to rewind back to week 1, and our nominees from week 1, good segue here because we were just talking about DJ Ransom going over 1,000. We've got 2 girls who are closing in, and they were both nominees in week 1. Melanie Polanco from Maloney High School, she's got 923 points, or at least she did going into Tuesday's action. Likewise, going to Tuesday, our other nominee, Jeanette Wadalowski from Southington, she had 904 points. But the girl who took the prize in week 1, Miss Mia Juodaitis from Cheshire High School, we were able to catch up with her just before practice on Tuesday afternoon.
Here we are, the Cheshire High School East Gymnasium. Sean Kropsik here with our female athlete of the week, Mia Juodaitis. Thank you for having us, letting us come and see you today.
Thank you.
Yeah. Now, as for our audience knows, Mia is our first Cheshire winner in the couple of years that we've been doing this, and it's been long overdue. She was a great choice. She was up against some great competition, but she's been one of the great all-around athletes at Cheshire High the last 3 years for sure. Mia, tell me what it's been like this year, this basketball season.
We came in, we really wanted to flip around our record from last year. It was a tough year last year, but we had a lot of people come back, so we just worked hard in practice to do a little better this year.
Now, you guys started out 0-4. You had some tough games, some tough competition. You really kind of stepped it up and stabilized the season. What kind of turned around?
I think just playing those tough teams in the beginning helped us a lot, and really showed us what we had to work on to get better through the season.
And you seem to really, your scoring has gone up quite a bit in the last couple of weeks. What's changed?
We've just been working hard in practice and getting higher percentage shots, and everyone's really working hard to get good looks inside, and I think that's helping a lot.
What do you feel your best game was so far this year?
I think Berlin, we had a lot of good chemistry, and I think that's really when we turned around and we had a good win. We just worked so hard that game.
So you've been around this program. You started ever since you were a freshman. What's it been like being a Cheshire Ram?
It's amazing. I mean, everyone wants to try their hardest and like always come to the games and cheer us on, so it's really great.
Thank you, Mia, for speaking with Sean and Pete on Tuesday, because I misspoke. It wasn't before practice. You actually had a game that night against Shelton. Another little correction we can make here on the Athlete of the Week show. We made a mistake in print. Very happy to correct it here with our first nominee for Week 2. She is from Sheehan girls basketball, Miss Olivia Robles, junior forward. Now, Friday night against Amity, we reported that she had 22 points. That was incorrect. We stand corrected. She had 27 points that night. And Liv's just having a fantastic season for the Titans. They're 6-3 going into their game on Tuesday evening. And Liv doing it on the boards, doing it in the scoring column, leading the team with a 15.4 average. We're very happy to make Liv Robles and correct our mistake. Sorry, Liv. But you are nominated here in Week 2. Okay, moving ahead, we're going to stay on the basketball court because you know what? We've got some good stuff happening out there, including over at Platt High School. We've been pumped to see this winning streak unfold game by game. Coach Tina Gagne and her Platt Panthers have run their winning streak to 6 with a victory on Friday night against East Hartford. Now, they were taking that streak into Hebron on Tuesday night against Ram, and that's a tough road over there because Ram is ranked in the top 10. They're undefeated. But hey, the Panthers, 8-3, they have already qualified for the state tournament. A lot of balanced scoring over there for Platt. The girl we're going with is a girl leading the way up top. She is senior Madison Chapman. She's been averaging 11.7 points during that winning streak, and since the start of the new year, it was Bristol Eastern, Middletown, Berlin, East Hartford, Madison Chapman, and the Lady Panthers getting it done. We're very happy to nominate Madison Chapman. That brings us to our third and final nominee among the girls. We said Wilcox Tech had a couple of nominees this week, and they do. And the nominee is senior guard Samantha Petro. Samantha makes the Lady Tribe go. She might only be 5 feet tall. She's only 5 foot tall. Man, does she play large. She's averaging 17.2 for Wilcox Tech. Now they've settled into CTC play where they are undefeated. They're 5-3 overall, but they are 5-0 in CTC play. Again, going into Tuesday's action. Sam Petro, happy to make you, as well as DJ Ransom, representatives from Wilcox Tech here on the show in which we bring you the acting debut of Joe Testa and Kelvin Cortez. Okay, folks, that is it now. When you see this video, you can go online. Even if you have to go out and shovel the driveway, go and get it done. Go online to My Record Journal, sports/athletes. You can go and vote. The polls are now open. They are open through Sunday. We had a good voting totals for Week 1. We'd like to see good voting totals for Week 2. We'll bring you the winners next week. Anybody nominated for Athlete of the Week gets an invitation, like our Scholar Athletes and All Record Journal kids, and also Athletes of Distinction, to our Best of the Bunch Awards brunch in late June at the AquaTurf, which appearing as guest speaker will be Mr. Jim Calhoun. Hey, Pete, be on the lookout this week. You never know when you see Jim Calhoun of St. Joe's men's basketball in the house. Okay, that is it for this week. On behalf of Shawnee Crossick and Pete Paguagua, who did all this running around, I just sat here at this table, didn't move an inch. Shawnee and Pete, a lot of running around. Thank you, boys. Congratulations to Mia and Garrett and to all our nominees this week. I am Brian Carpenter, sports editor of the Meriden Record Journal. Buongiorno. Thank you for tuning in.